horror fans, once again, it's the Horror Miser Monty G here to do a recap of last night's pretty interesting episode of The Purge. Yes. Now, before I begin my recap, I want to wish all you, my horror fans, hope you had a safe and festive and exciting Halloween today. If you took your kids out trick-or-treating, I hope you keep them safe. And I hope they had the enjoyment of Halloween as we enjoy Halloween. And always, again, stay safe, everybody. Now let's go on with what happened on last night's episode of The Purge. Now, after a little montage of Joe rescuing those people that we saw early in the season, we now find out that Joe has brought them all to this high school. Matter of fact, it's his old high school that he went to that's been torn down, and he has the entire place rigged up so that no one can get in and the captors cannot get out. And he tells them, after listening to that Purge propaganda tape, that he's going to put them all on trial because every one of those people have wronged him. Oh boy, has he turned about 60. Now, all the main characters are in the cell. We have Rick and Jenna. We have Penelope, we have Jane, and we also have 3 other characters that we only saw glimpses of. We saw one is Eleanor. We see another one, I think her name is June or Julie, and Charlie. Those 3. Now, what have they done to wrong Joe? Well, obviously, as we see through flashbacks, Charlie was a bully to Joe when he were in high school, forced him to do his homework, and it humiliated Joe when Joe unfortunately wet himself during high school. Now, at first, Charlie tries to play it off, saying, I don't know you. But then he finally relents and says, yes, I know you. I've known you. Unfortunately, Charlie's life has not turned out the best that he's been. He's been homeless ever since he's graduated from high school, and his life turned out to be worthless. And Joe wants these people to confess. And if he believes their confessions, then he'll grant them mercy. If not, he said he will purge because of his right as an American. It's his right to purge. After Charlie breaks down crying, it looks like Joe's about to go ahead and forgive him. They hug, and next thing you know, he stabs Charlie in the chest and kills him. Oh, no. Bye-bye, Charlie. Meanwhile, Miguel and Joe the cop are on the way to rescue Penelope after Miguel saw Joe take Penelope into the van and take him away. So thanks to Joe's cop smarts, they track down the license plate and they head over to his house. Excuse me. And we also get some backstory on Joe. While they're heading over to Joe's apartment, they are stopped by some purgers. We kind of find out that during the purge, Joe stopped some purging cops that wanted to kill people, and he was able to save them people. And he's known, it was known something called Blue Friday. That's what they said, and he's untouchable. So they let him go, and it was a nice way to for them to go on ahead. And they head to Joe's apartment. Like I said, as they head over to Joe's house and rescue Penelope. But she's not there. They're somewhere else, as we all know. Now, Joe said it's now Elaine's turn. But Elaine, she's not going to have it. She says that's it. She tries to run outside to the building. But unfortunately, Joe has the entire place rigged. And she's killed by shotgun blast. Oh, man. Poor Ellie. We barely, I think her name is Elaine. We barely knew you. And now we get to the meat of the episode. It's Jane's turn. And it's pretty interesting to see how these two met. They actually went on a date. Believe it or not. It was a date app that they met each other. And, you know, it's pretty interesting to see how even in this particular world, how people still lie on their apps. Apparently, he used a younger picture of himself. So, of course, when they meet each other, Jane's probably a bit disappointed because you look older than what your picture was on your profile. See, that's what happens when you try to deceive people on dating apps. And the date turns into, I guess you can say, a disaster because unfortunately Joe, whether wittingly or unwittingly, throws a bunch of stereotypical types at Jane, saying that, well, I thought you're going to be loud and sassy and all this other stuff, but you're very nice and cool and calm. And the job that you got, you probably use your race in order to get in. This pisses Jane off to the point, you know what, I had enough of this. So she gets up, excuses herself, and she just leaves him there. She actually even paid for the dinner. Hey, she can't afford it. This does not make Joe very happy, and that's the reason why Jane is there. Meanwhile, Rick and Jenna don't know why they're there until Rick says he's one of our subcontractors. That's why they're there, but we still don't know why. And Rick says, well, I think he believes we owe him money. There's going to be some repercussions because I believe Rick is telling a big one. Now, again, like I said before, the meat of the episode is the back and forth Jane and Joe have, and you really have to give, I think it's Amanda Warren and Lee Turkison credit for how they portrayed, how they acted the scene. Joe talks about how the Purge is good and how great the Purge is, while Jane tells them is that the Purge doesn't change anybody. Now, of course, Joe tells the audience how she went on ahead and Purge against David. And yes, she did. She says, I admit I killed him in self-defense, but I still feel sorry. I still feel sad because I did something that goes against all my principles over a sick, misogynistic pig and a sexual predator. The two eventually start to have a fight, and unfortunately, poor Jane doesn't have the fighting skills. And unfortunately, Joe chokes her to death. Oh, poor Jane. I really like that character. And he drags her off, and everyone is still real scared now because Jane was the focal point, was trying to get them to fight up against Joe. Now, I find Joe's character very interesting. And you got to give Lee Turkison credit, because when we initially saw Joe, he seemed kind-hearted, nice. Even in the flashbacks that we saw him, he seemed like a very reasonable guy. But unfortunately, I guess you could call it bad luck or just poor luck. Never got ahead in his life. Unlucky at love, unlucky at his career. And unfortunately, the propaganda he starts to listen to turned him into the man that he is now. Very sadistic, cold-hearted, and very petty. I mean, you want to talk about the reason why Penelope is there. We see in the flashback right there that the reason why he took her is because she didn't even say thank you to him when he held the door for him. And he's that petty because of that? Oh, man, what is wrong with this guy? Imagine if the Purge would happen today, and you take a guy like Joe, and the world twists him up so much that he can now unleash his frustrations out on anybody that wronged him on the night of the Purge. Oh, let's not forget Miguel and Joe the cop. They go to his house. His house is also rigged up, but they're able to get in. They see his father. Unfortunately, he's dying of cancer. They eventually see all the how long he's been planning this, and they say, hey, I've been planning this for months. Got to give the guy credit. He's pretty good. It's a shame that he did not use his smarts to get ahead in life, like, maybe get a degree, make something useful of his life. He decided to use the bad luck for him and twist his mind to where he takes revenge against people who think he wronged them over the little trivial things. So finally, they know that he's taking them to the school. They're about to get ready to car. Unfortunately, there's an RPG that's coming to the raid. Joe and Miguel get out of the car, and the car blows up, and guess who's there? Yes, it's Rex the Cowboy from the Carnivore Flesh. He's found them along with the security guards there, but unfortunately, there's no bodies there. It's all missing. Oh boy, too bad, Rex. Looks like you're not going to get your revenge tonight. Now, as I stated before, this was probably the best episode of the season so far, which is pretty good way when you have this type of episode, which is called a pre-ultimate episode. It sets everything up for anything that can happen in the season finale. Is Jane dead? What's going to happen to the rest of the people that are locked in that cage? Will Miguel and Pete survive, and will Miguel rescue his sister? And will Lila make a return in order to save her lover? These are all a bunch of questions that probably will be answered in the season finale next week of The Purge. So, what do you thought about last night's episode of The Purge? Do you think Joe is right? Do you think he should purge against the people who've done him wrong? Or do you think he's just a whip? And he's just taking advantage of the purge night? Leave your questions down in your comments below. Leave your comments in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about last night's episode of The Purge. Well, that's my video for today, guys. And if you, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up and share because it does help the channel a lot. And once again, if this is your first time here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way you can come and enjoy the horror experience with me, the Horror Miser Monty G. And as always, all my social media links will be down in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, horror rules. Once again, happy Halloween, everybody. I'm out.